Minecraft Beta 1.7.3 had a serious resurgence in popularity half a year ago.
Instantly, I'm taken back to a time that I never even experienced.
The game was not just a game, but an experience.
But what happens when you play a world from beta and versions afterwards? Well, I'm on a quest to find out. Join me as I conquer almost every major version in the game, all the way up to present day. Every version I'll have 3 to 5 objectives to complete before I can end my journey in that update. My name is Tag, and this is Minecraft, but every episode is a new version. With Beta 1.7.3, we have some very simple objectives. As I start off my journey with collecting wood and doing early Minecrafty things, let's look at my objectives. First,
I must find the diamond and build a house.
Or something. I'm gonna have to go get some wheat. Of course, I must go get the obligatory doggo, and since we're here in Beta 1.7, it's only fitting that one of our requirements is to mess with pistons. After getting my first stone tools, I set out to complete my first objective. The beta terrain was nice, but I was looking for something flatter. Something that I didn't have to hop 300 times to get up to. As the first night came, I settled near a small pond. Turns out there was a cave there, and in the pitch black I found my first iron, and encountered my first neighbors.
Say goodbye to your kneecaps, chucklehead!
There were tons of caves around, so there was no problem getting the sufficient iron for all my early game needs. Then I returned to the land next to the pond and set up camp. After smelting my iron, it was time to get mining. Not even 3 minutes in and I had already found myself 8 frickin' blue thingies. This was eventually enough to get myself a diamond pickaxe, which was probably going to be useful because I would eventually run into a lava pool adjacent to water. The obsidian was not exactly cooperative. Outside the water. Oh, finally, that's like 8 seconds. Holy sh! Past the lava pool, I found myself around 12 more diamonds. With this, I headed back to my establishment and built my first nether portal. Entering the nether for the first time, I had an immediate encounter.
Nope.
My plan for my starter house was to start off with a layer of cobblestone, then add a layer of gravel, an upper layer of stone, and a brick roof to top it off. It wasn't long before the roof was nearly finished, and all that was left was to implement some glass into the structure. My final touches were a couple of nightstands outside my bed and some external lighting. The house turned out pretty decently, although I'm not sure how it'll stand through the upcoming texture updates. After exterminating another one of my neighbors, I started working on my underground vault, which would contain all my cherished items, as it was incredibly dangerous to leave them out open in my single-player world. So I'm planning this to sort of blend in with the existing cave. I'll have a piston door glowstone entrance, if that makes any sense. You'll see it later. After a hard day's work, I was ready for a relaxing slumber. Dang it, do we really have to do this? Really? Dumb. This was not an ideal situation. At the very least, I had collected some free bones for my excursion into obtaining a dog. I wasn't exactly sure how farming worked in this version, but one thing I did know was that I was going to need some seeds in order to grow stuff. As I swept through the grasslands, I noticed many skeleton remains suspiciously aligned among the forests. This could have been a result of the daylight cycle, but something told me I was about to encounter something much more exciting. Whoa! Come here, buddy. I got some treats for you. Man, this guy is really taking all my... Okay, here we go. Awesome. It was only fair to name the dog Hopper, considering how much he jumped and how he practically jumped me by taking everything I had. Hopper seemed like a competent companion, taking out pretty much everything in his path. Of course, I couldn't let him take out my wheat with his jumpy tendencies, so I let him inside to tear up everything in there instead. With my newly acquired wheat seeds, I started setting up a little farmland in front of my starter house. I didn't have too many seeds, so this farm wasn't going to be anything special, but at the very least, I had made the farm blend with the shape of the house. And I set up another set of farmland on the left side of the house. Something else I focused on was the entrance path to the house, since all the players in my single-player world were going to need to know how to get into my house. After terraforming over part of the pond, the starter base was complete. In order to create my piston door contraption and complete my last objective, I was going to need to find some slimes. At first I tried mining and hoped that I would find a slime chunk, but all I found was 9 diamonds instead. Not exactly ideal. After installing some sketchy software, after getting a new PC and restoring all my files, I installed a program that would give me my world seed and subsequently entered it into Chunkbase and searched for slime chunks on its earliest versions. It's kind of cheating, but let's be honest, nobody's going to spend 100 hours trying to find green slushy cubes. While mining a tunnel to the slime chunk, I also found a mob spawner. By using F3 and the exploit that allows you to see mobs through walls, I managed to see a whole bunch of zombies spawning randomly in a box. I noted down the coordinates for later. In the world, I mined a small box in a slime chunk near my base and started the waiting game. It took 30 minutes, but I finally got what I needed. Oh, is it? Yeah, that's it. Come here, you gross cubic delinquents. Finally, I could finish my last objective. As I emerged from the surface, I knew nothing could go wrong. What the hell happened to the farm? Apparently this bug was in existence back here in beta. I played 1.0 before and I had this exact issue, so I know this is probably not even going to be fixed until 1.1. Oh, that's fun. The wheat farm was still technically there, it was just really small. After my previous encounter in the Nether, I wasn't exactly fond of the idea of going back. But all I needed was a little bit of glowstone, so I just relayed from my portal to a glowstone patch and back. I could finally get to work on my final project, the glowstone piston door. After crafting the necessary sticky pistons, I worked on the redstone for the door and the completely harmless secret exit. And just like that, my final objective for Beta 1.7.3 was complete. In total, I had played 6 hours in Beta 1.7.3, and there was some interesting quirks with this version. Although sprinting didn't exist, it was nice to not have to worry about hunger all the time. The sounds in this version were not exactly complete feeling. In all of it, I'd give this version a 7 out of 10. Not too bad, but not too great. Beta 1.7.3 was fun, but it couldn't last forever.